differences from game one. Number one, Lakers were immediately physical and made Minnesota work for everything. And number two is the T-Wolves couldn't hit their threes. And they shoot a lot of them, and they did all year. But when Ant, who's a great three-point shooter, is 2 for 8, they're in trouble, and they were. And I thought last night is what I actually thought the series was going to look like, which is a limited offensive team with Ant being the best player, and you're kind of crossing your fingers night to night if Julius Randle can deliver. He was good last night. But what's remarkable to me, that at 40 years old, with other stars in the game like Luka and Ant, LeBron is still the tone setter in that game last night. Activity, energy, defense, setting the tempo. It was LeBron. And you could feel his presence every time he was on the floor. And it's interesting, if you go to LeBron's career, following a loss, he's the very best LeBron. In fact, LeBron's always been great in the second game of a playoff series. He tends to feel out the first game and then attack in the second game. Sort of how all of us are with the second cup of coffee at work. You know, that first cup of coffee, you're trying to get organized. Any of us are not really capable of completing a grown-up task until we're into the second cup of coffee. And that's how LeBron does it. It's like a boxer that feels out the first round, and then he attacks in round two. And that's what LeBron did. And that's why LeBron's comp is not Michael Jordan. It's Brady. For Brady at 45 years old to lead the NFL in pass attempts and throw for 4,700 yards and lead the league in completions, that's LeBron, who in year 22, with other stars on the floor, in a crucial game for the Lakers, LeBron's the tone setter. And remember, LeBron tried to pass the baton to AD 4 years ago. He tried to say, hey, dude, I'm not into points. Lead us in scoring. And although AD finally got in shape, and AD was very consistent defensively, you never knew what you were getting from AD offensively. So often, LeBron would wait when he was a teammate of AD. He would play a very soft first quarter, want AD to take the baton with scoring, and AD wouldn't, and then LeBron would have to take over and pray Austin Reeves could help him be the two.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we can talk about LeBron James and the Lakers without bringing up Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, and, you know, I mean, like, we could just focus on this game. All right, we don't have to talk about, you know, what LeBron's able to do at this age and how amazing it is. Like, let's just focus on this game. We're focusing on this playoffs. We're not focused on a legacy. You know, we'll have those conversations later. But like, let's just unpack this game as a whole. And LeBron was absolutely, you know, the tone setter. But that's part of the solution and part of the problem for the Lakers. This was the exact game that you wanted to see the Lakers play. I said going into this game, you know, if the Lakers win kind of a close game, you're going to feel unsettled. But if they can kind of go up big and show that their energy can just be kind of through the roof, and just not even just their energy, but just their execution, like, that's going to make you feel significantly better. But even if you just win like a close kind of back and forth game against Minnesota, you would start to feel kind of slightly unsettled. So this was the exact game, if you're a Lakers fan, that you wanted to see the Lakers play. It was significantly more physical, but also the refs were definitely blowing the whistle a lot more, which from a fan's perspective, I know the Lakers won, but like, that's frustrating to me to watch. 1 minute they're letting them play, the next minute they're not, and it's a frustrating thing that the NBA constantly does throughout the playoffs. It's very frustrating. And the Lakers were able to use that to their advantage. LeBron is always very, very smart and strategic when he kind of understands what type of whistle the game is calling, is going to be called in that game. But, you know, my biggest concern, and this is what I keep talking about, is, you know, LeBron was the tone setter. He was the energy, not Luka. Even though Luka put up 30 and Luka was able to put up the points, it was still clearly LeBron. LeBron playing defense, LeBron's energy, LeBron pushing the ball down the court. Like, he was still the engine of that team. And then now the question is how will he be in game 3, 4, 5? To me, it's absolutely crucial that the Lakers win this series in 5 or 6 games. 6 games is starting to push it, because for them to play a 6-7 game series, having to go back and forth between Minnesota and LA and Minnesota and LA, and then now have to go play, whoever you end up playing in the next round, it's just a lot. So being able to bring this home, pretty much just, winning 5 games or so, get back to LA, win the final game, and then that's it. Not having to now go back to Minnesota, like not having to kind of do any of that really, really, really helps out this team, mainly because it is still all LeBron. It's still clearly all LeBron, even if someone like Luka is outscoring him, right? He is the energy, because you even saw there's moments, and this is the problem this is the drawback of Luka. When Gobert stole the ball from him, and Luka was literally like in the middle of the play. As Gobert is kind of driving to the rim, Luka turns his back to the play as he's kind of running with Gobert, but not really, yelling at the ref and putting his hands in the air, and then Gobert is able to now go make a layup. Like, that's the nonsense. That is the nonsense that the Lakers have to deal with, and Luka has to grow up and mature from. This is the playoffs, where every bucket matters. You can't have those moments. And that's why this team will still, to this day, live and die by LeBron James, because he is not only the energizer, he's the only one on the court that truly knows what needs to be done at any given moment. He's the only one that's willing to do what needs to be done in any given moment. He's the only one that actually has the maturity on the court. I mean, when you watch from out of all the guys that played, I don't know how many total guys ended up playing in that game, 15, whatever it was on both sides combined. LeBron is still, like, you could just see it as clear as day. If you never knew who LeBron was and you were just watching this game, you would say, oh man, Luka's pretty good. And, oh wow, that was a nice dunk. And Gobert's really tall, et cetera, et cetera. But you would look at LeBron and be like, oh, LeBron feels different. Like, there's just a maturity and a depth of experience that you get when you are playing at 75 years old. And he still obviously has it. But again, to me, it's just, he played, what did he play, like 40 minutes or so? Yeah, he played 40 minutes, took 19 shots. Make no mistake, shooting a lot is also tiring. It wears you out. It's not always just about the minutes that you play and how you're running up, but it's the shots you're taking, your legs. I mean, it's really a combination. He was all over the place. He was getting rebounds, playing tough defense. Like, it wears you down. It wears you down. If LeBron has to play 6-7 games this series, averaging 40 minutes and putting up 19, 20 shots a game, that's a tough spot for someone his age just to be able to do game after game after game, multiple series, traveling literally across the country, back and forth. It catches up. It absolutely catches up. So I'm going to be so fascinated to see what LeBron looks like going into that third game. This is where someone like Austin Reeves has to step up. Luka, obviously, Luka's always going to get his 30, right? He's always going to get his points. But Austin Reeves has to step up. 0 for 6 from 3. I mean, like that's a tough one. Rui, I know Rui kind of went down for a minute, and then he was wearing a mask, and he wasn't wearing a mask, and so he was kind of, a little bit of up and down in that regard. But you're going to have to get a lot more production. Now you're going on the road. Where we know this always happens in the playoffs. The role players for the Timberwolves, for the home team, they always play better at home. So this is where you are going to see a McDaniels, even a Randall to a degree, Naz Reid, DiVincenzo. Like, it's not hard to imagine that they're going to be shooting a bunch of them are going to be like 3 for 6 from 3 and 5 for 8 from here. We always see that. Always see that. And the Lakers need to be ready for that, because that'll be more similar to what the Lakers saw in game 1. In a lot of ways, we saw the Timberwolves game 1 play and how all the buckets were falling, kind of how typically home games go and not away games. And so to me, like, that's what if you're Lakers, that's what you're going to be looking out for more than anything. It's going to be like, hey, this game is going to look more like game 1 than game 2. Our objective is to bring our level of intensity and defense to, that we brought in game 2 to their now game 3, right? Their version of their game 1, if that makes sense. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Because things will definitely be different in Minnesota, and it goes a long way if the Lakers can steal Game 3. I don't want to say steal, but win Game 3, put the Timberwolves back on their back foot, because now they had a lot of confidence coming out of Game 1, and then you have Game 2, kind of shell shocked a bit, and then now if they lose Game 3 at home, it's kind of like, we're down 1-2. You start to feel like, was Game 1 more of a fluke rather than, is this a series? And it puts all the pressure. You're going to put all the pressure on Ant, all the pressure on Randall, all the pressure on, again, some of the role players to make all those threes, right? DiVincenzo goes 0 for 2 in the first quarter, and it's just like, like things start to kind of crumble a little bit. And like I said, before you know it, it's 3-1, and you're back in LA, and it's like, bring this home. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But those are my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Los Angeles Lakers? Luka and LeBron's impressed by the Lakers bounce back win? Yes, as the question says at the bottom. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.